What's going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Okudah coming back at you with another video. So today we're going to go training camp day 8. Some quick news updates, what's going on around the team as these guys get ready to go into that first week of preseason where they're going to actually do some joint practices with the Miami Dolphins before they head into that game next Friday. So yes, we are 1 week away from our first preseason game. So guys, with that being said, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like hear that I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So guys, of course, big news today. Early today, everybody minding their business, work, whatever they're doing, and we get the notification that Jeff Okudah is being carted off the field. We know, we understand, this is football. Injuries is definitely part of the game. However, it's unfortunate for Jeff Okudah, a guy who's actually, been struggling with injuries, just to get himself, live up to that third overall pick that he had. He's been injured a lot. Actually had a pretty good season last year. Felt like this year it's definitely going to be a turnaround year for him, so he can, capitalize and be able to get, his next contract. Now, we don't know the extent of the injury. We know it's an ankle. We know he got carted out the field. They're going to do an MRI, so we just got to wait and hear the news. Hopefully it's not long term. Maybe he can, maybe it's like a high ankle sprain. That does take a while, so still probably won't be ready for the start of the season. But, if he can come back anytime soon, that would be great. Now, we know that the Atlanta Falcons made a lot of moves in the secondary to create depth, because what we don't want to happen, or what transpired last year. Remember, we went into the Cincinnati Bengals game and both of our starting corners was out, and we really just got blitzed in that first half by the Cincinnati Bengals passing game, and that's not what we want. So that's what we're trying not to prevent. So it's a lot of depth in our secondary. Once Jeff Okudah went out, they put Trey Flowers there to play their role, but they have so many options. It's to be interested to see how they decide to go with that number 2 corner. Mike Hughes have had experience definitely on the outside as well. He definitely could fit in and play that role. Clark Phillip, actually, that's what he did at the University of Utah. However, we know he's short in stature compared to cornerbacks. But maybe that could be his best fit to go back out there. Could be like a Brent Grimes or something like that. Darren Hall, Cornell Armstrong, a couple of guys that Archer Smith mentioned today. So it's a lot of depth there. But, this is a big blow, in my opinion, to the defense, because how Ryan Nielsen wanted to play that press man, physical aggression, on the outside of the cornerback position. And I thought he really had that with a guy like Jeff Okudah and AJ Terrell. But Trey Flowers is a big guy. He's more, a matchup for like big tight ends and things like that. But we'll have to see how this pans out. It's a good thing that we're going up against the Miami Dolphins next week. Guys, they got a lot of speed. It's going to be a good test for our secondary. So, the Atlanta Falcons really see what they got back there in the secondary. But, prayers up to Jeff Okudah. Hopefully it's not a serious injury. Hopefully we hear something tomorrow and we'll get more insight on that. But good thing, with injuries in the NFL, depth is really important. So that's a really good thing that Atlanta Falcons, really invested in the secondary this year. They really invested in defense as a whole. So, but you really hate to see guys when they go down, and that's, to me, was a big, little small blow to the Atlanta Falcons. I said big and small at the same time, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not a season-ending injury and he can come back sometimes this season. Alright, so that's the bad news. We want to go ahead and get it out of the way first. That's why I want to talk about that. We had a couple old Falcons come back, and this one thing when I talked about the vibe of this team this year, a lot of the guys that was part of the franchise is starting to show up and be around camp. You love to see that. But today we got to see Matty Ice out there with his two twin sons out there. That's awesome. Good feel. Everybody probably felt like it was a bad breakup between the Atlanta Falcons and Matt Ryan. I never felt that. I thought they let Matt Ryan pick where he wanted to go. Good situation. I think he understood what the franchise direction they was going in, and like Arthur Blank said, and Arthur Smith as well, that he's always welcome back anytime. So it was good to see Matty Ice out there. Maybe he could have a role with the team. You never know. They still don't have a quarterback coach. Dave Ragone is filling in as the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. That would be awesome for the development of a guy like Desmond Ridder. But Matt is going into CBS broadcasting this season, so much respect to him. They also had Obi Mahaley out there. If you guys remember him, big boy, run the ball. So that's good to see him out there. And of course, our all-time sack leader, John Abraham. He's been around the team a lot this offseason, so glad to see guys coming back. When I was out at training camp, it was Michael the Burner Turner out there. So good to see old Falcons coming back, feeling that vibe with this young team that we have. And maybe some of their success that they had in the Atlanta Falcon uniform could definitely rub off on this young team that we have. All right, let's get into some notes that we heard from the guys that's out there watching, covering the team for us. For us people that definitely can't make it to every training camp. But they did a lot of good goal line work today. The offense really looked good in goal line, especially the first and second team. That's what you like to see, right? We talked about it. Defense is usually be ahead of the offense sometimes, and the offense take time to get the rhythm down and things like that. But we hear it more and more each day that especially our first and second team is definitely starting to get the rhythm down, and both teams really shine today in the red zone. They got the best of the defense, but that's really good to see. You love to see that. Desmond Ridder and Kyle Pitts seem like they starting to develop more and more chemistry. He caught a touchdown from Desmond Ridder today. Matter of fact, he threw both his touchdowns he had in the red zone to tight end. So once again, tight ends are quarterback best friend. However, the secondary still making plays out there. You love to hear that. Even with Jeff Okudah going down, AJ Terrell still is in mid-season form. We know that this potentially could be his contract year. So you love to see guys that's already talented and they trying to get their money. They're just going to even step it up even more. Richie Grant, Jesse Bates playing good ball. Clark Phillips, you keep hearing his name over and over again. Like I said, it'd be interesting. They decided to put him outside. Definitely where he played most of his snaps at the University of Utah. But it's a bit different animal if he was to do that in the NFL. So that definitely would be interesting. But overall, guys, another good solid day. Besides the injury news of Jeff Okudah, seemed like the Falcons definitely heading in the right direction. Probably getting tired of hitting each other these first 10 or so days out there, and now they want to go and get somebody else. Good, good test. Miami is a really good team. We'll see next week when they get down there. I think it's on Tuesday and Wednesday when they actually, have the two practices with those guys. But good practice, and that's what we want to see. Guys, we just got to stay healthy. That's what we're really looking for. So that's all the news I got today. If you guys got any opinion, what you think about Jeff Okudah, or who you think gonna fit, eventually, if he can't go, eventually going to be that cornerback number 2. And how are you feeling about the depth overall in our secondary? And this is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.